It's all about you. I'm Audra.
I'm Sandy.
We're a mother-daughter dynamic duo having conscious coffee chats. We've wanted to bring this to live platforms for a while, just bringing consciousness and awareness and sharing what we've shared for decades about just keeping it simple and tips and tricks to like navigate the best life possible. Today we're just going to share about getting into overwhelm and how to notice that, recognize that, so that you can flip it and flip the switch to be like, I'm done living in that crazy, overwhelmed, stressed out, running around like a chicken with my head cut off. So go ahead, Sandy. What were you going to share about the overwhelm and how to just bring that down?
Okay. Overwhelm has become a way of life for us in the last few years. I mean, it started
that's
before
like really
that.
scary. Like overwhelm is the norm, which is
Yes.
nutty.
But
as
it
hell.
is the way
It's
it
like
is.
normal.
Yes, it's normal.
Like we should start a game show. Who can be stressed out the most?
Yeah, exactly.
You won.
We have a lot of people playing the game.
Maybe
How
that's the
much-
new reality show.
How much can I get done in one day?
Mm-hmm.
Although it's really, you're playing a game of trickery because you can't get it all done.
Exactly.
So,
and we were never meant to get it all done,
no,
right?
we were never meant to live like this, and never meant to live this rushed life we're living and to not be thinking consciously about our yes, our no's, our rest, our sleep, our health, the things that are really important to us that we maintain.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the examples I use a lot is I take a paper plate and I say, now take that to the buffet and put everything you want on it, and pretty soon the paper plate is even the foundation of the paper plate is shaky because
it's sagging
and it's heavy and everything's touching each other. That's your life. That's your life.
Oh.
It's sagging because you don't have enough time invested in it, and then every topic and every subject is touching each other and running into mishmash in here because I'm trying to finish this, the right and the left and the front and the back is all touching it, so there's no centering for you in that position while you're trying to do that one job. And that anxiety that we're feeling is because we know
it's
on an inside level that it's too much. I can't do it. It's just driving me in a direction, but I don't know what to do about it. So what we do then is we might want to take that paper plate and get a pen and write down everything you're doing in one day, from driving to work to picking up to shopping to going to see your friends to talking to the kids to your own self-care, and pretty soon your plate's like, how the heck do I have to, I'm stuttering because I don't know how I even could do this or would do this.
Right.
So what we suggest is you take a piece of paper and you put down, out of all those topics that you have, 3 or 3 jobs from, maybe you could, instead of topics, you could put job number,
the 3 most important things that you would like to achieve in the day, right?
3 things out of there.
Only 3.
Yep, you get 3, no more. If there's more, you have to wait till you get 3. And you put those 3 down, and then you don't number the 3 though. Don't number them, just write them down. And then remove your plate and look at the 3 things. And what's number 1 out of those 3 things that's your heaviest feeling about? Something you don't want to do. I mean, you want to do it and get it done, but you cannot, you're just not getting to it, and it's just, that's the one that's piling over and spilling over and keeping your energy even lower in that anxiety, and I don't know what I'm going to do. So pick the number 1 thing and then number that. That might be 3 on your list, put 1. And then do the other 2, which is more important. And then once you have your list, you can begin to focus on, I'm going to do 1. I mean, it's the hardest, but once I get that off my plate, I'm going to be in good shape, because that's the one that's the overwhelm. Because you keep putting it off, putting it off, putting it off, but guess what? It hasn't gone anywhere. So whatever
it's always in the back of your mind.
It's always there, and it's yep. I'll get to it. You're always addressing it too.
Right.
So once you begin to understand what it is, and you say, I'm going to do that first, and you get that off your list, it might take the whole day and you won't get to anything else. But believe me, that's okay, because getting that number one resolved and taken care of and followed up and through. Or it might be something super simple and you'll get it done in a half an hour and you'll be like, oh my gosh, the time I wasted thinking it was huge.
Or you clear your head enough to be able to be present with that, so it takes such less time, right? Because you're really invested in that one thing. So then you can put your all in that. Then you crunch time. And that's what people don't understand too, is like, once you get those three, the ease that you can feel in your mind, body, and soul makes the difference for those three, right? And then half of those, like the three, even spill over into the 20 and resolve some of the 20.
Yes.
So that you can really get grounded in who you are and grounded in yourself to show up in the now to do those three.
Right. And the self-care in your mental capacity and your physical capacity is like, oh my gosh, I feel so much better. I feel so, because like Audra said, doing these three now made these 17 or whatever's left. When I look at them, I'm like, oh my gosh, I did 3/4 of that doing this. So now this one becomes maybe number one on the top in a day, but guess what? It took you 10 minutes now because it was intertwined. And those are the things that get all mixed up when you're rushing and you're in chaos, when you're anxious about something, because you're not running your show. Rushing is, chaos is, confusion is, and overwhelm is. So we want to know, where are you? We had to find out for ourselves how to do this, because it runs the show.
Right. And once you really write it down, like if I write things down, like say I'm like working on like, you know, I want to clean the house or whatever. If I write down everything I want to do in the house and I just like let it go, right? It's out of my mind, it's out of my head, it's on the paper. Somehow I get all that done and then more on the list. I'm happy doing it. I do it in half the time. And I'm like, how does that even work? Sometimes I'm like, I'm baffled on really how it works, but it does work.
Yeah. Well, the baffling part is there's probably 3/4 of this list of three, maybe first the 20 and then the three, that's mental.
Yeah.
It's just mental.
Well, and it keeps you in the chaos too, right?
The dust storm.
I notice that. Like if I don't really want to do something, I'll be like, oh, I have these other 20 things to do.
Yes.
Oh, bullshit. You don't. You just don't want to do the one.
And we just
need
to
you
come
back
front
kind
and center.
of right.
Yeah.
And
we
then,
keep putting it
then
off.
it's overwhelm, right? No sleep, overwhelm. Well, I'm too tired to get to this today. You know what? You'll get your energy back if you can clear the headspace.
Right. That's exactly
right.
right.
So that's the overwhelm. That's the just crazy head games and talk about you can't get it done. Of course you can get it done. Put only 3, you're done.
Even using your home schedule, like, okay, I'm going to clean the house and I had the 3 things. If that took all day to get one off your list, it still reflects back that you probably took 8 other things off the list, because that one overwhelm, our mind will just keep tricking us into anxiety and stress and making it bigger. It's like a hot air balloon.
Like worry.
Just keeps going up. And that's the thing that we don't recognize when we're not dealing consciously.
Right.
The confusion, the anxiety, the stress just keeps blowing up, getting bigger and bigger. And when we pull it back down and say, no, I don't have to do anything except one thing on this list. And until I get the one thing done,
I'm not doing anything
I'm not
else.
doing
Sometimes
anything
you have to
else.
be tough with yourself and be
right.
like,
and just
this
say,
is it. I'm getting
committed.
this. Yeah, I'm done.
committed.
I don't care how long it takes, what it takes, who I have to, delete off the list. I'm
Right.
good. I just have to get this done.
Right. And
But it
what
always
a
works
favor
out
that
when you-
becomes to
right.
yourself, doesn't it?
Yep. Once you do it, you're like, oh my God, why didn't I do that earlier?
Right, right. So when it becomes a habit, you don't allow this mental chaos to turn into the dust storm and the hot air balloon to the degree that it used to. And we
Yeah.
get better at it. We get better at it. And then when we become more and more conscious, we don't even allow a 20 list thing.
Right.
We don't
'Cause we
have
just know
20
it's not
things.
even possible.
It doesn't work that way anymore because we're more conscious and time is returned to us because we don't have all the stops and neutrals and side trips that it takes while we're dodging. So
And then that also brings up what I've learned from stopping the overwhelm, going into the slowdown, right? Like we'll have another video on this, how slowing down speeds you up.
yes, absolutely.
For right now, it's just recognizing the overwhelm and don't allow that behavior from yourself anymore, and know that you don't have to live in that chaos, and you have the power to change it with some simple steps of writing your top 3. Usually that works out pretty well, and you can go from there, and then you can really sleep at night, because
Right.
overwhelm is another form of worry, right? Back in the day, everyone worried. It's like now the new normal is overwhelm. Well, it's the same as worry. It's the same as staying away from yourself.
Yeah, now
Versus
we're calling
running
it anxiety.
into right.
Yeah.
Anxiety, worry, overwhelm. It's like, okay, well, it's still all bullshit, and you don't need to live like that, right? But you gotta take yourself by your own hair, right? Like I'm always like, I'll just pull myself by my own hair to get over there. So, just recognizing you don't need to live in overwhelm and stress. It's all right.
Yeah, and you would be surprised at what just one decision, how one decision avails you to yourself. Like, I only did that little bit. That's because you became available to you instead of the plate.
That's the snafu, though, is getting away from yourself using overwhelm. You know what I mean? And sometimes it is a tactic to stay unconscious with yourself.
But it's unknown to you.
I know it's subconscious playing out, but we can use it as a tool to keep piling things off because we don't want to look at something. That's another video too. But otherwise, we're keeping it simple with just recognize the overwhelm. Make your list, use your tips and tricks to return to yourself and enjoying yourself and getting rest and relaxation and just being present and living from that open heart space. So with that, we'll end today's video. Thank you for showing up. Use what you can. Let go of the rest, right? And please subscribe, and share. And then know that we also do Akashic Record consultations and intuitive sessions. So just DM us if you're interested in that. We're always here to help. We hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you in the next video.